Good morning. It is me, Pearl, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And we're about to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies inside of ourselves, understanding that whatever state these energies are in, we can expect to see reflected back to us in the outside world. So if we want to see changes in the people around us, we need to change the energy inside of ourselves, and then we will see that. All right, let's look at the lyrics today because the shuffle was a really good one and I wanted to pay attention to what I was hearing. So the first song was Head Over Heels by Tears for Fears. I wanted to be with you alone and talk about the weather, but traditions I can trace against the child in your face won't escape my attention. You keep your distance with a system of touch and gentle persuasion. I'm lost in admiration. Could I need you this much? Oh, you're wasting my time. You're just wasting time. Something happens and I'm head over heels. I never find out till I'm head over heels, right? Don't throw it away. I made a fire watching it burn, thought of your future with one foot in the past now. Just how long will it last? And now, have you no ambitions? What's the matter? Wow, just go listen to it. It goes on and it's very applicable. For Divine Feminine Shuffle, we got a Fiona Apple song called Rack of His. I gave you pictures and cards on non-holidays, and it wasn't because I was bored. I followed you from room to room with no attention, and it wasn't because I was bored. It was because I was loving you so much. It's the only reason I gave my time to you. And that's it, the kick in you giving up, because you know you won't like it when there's nothing to do, right? Also really applicable. And then finally, Tom York's Analyze, which is a self-fulfilling prophecy of endless possibility. Just go listen. The shuffle was intense today. It was really, really, really everything that was happening. Okay. Divine Feminine is going first on this first day of this brand new year. She has more cards showing. I'm going to be using the lovely Fountain Tarot, and I'm really excited about it. For Divine Feminine Headspace today, we're using Crow Tarot for Heart Space, the Cosmic Tarot for Divine Masculine Headspace, and the Vice Versa Tarot for his heart space. So 4 beautiful decks. Okay, let's get going. Divine Feminine. Not surprised to see this from you. Top of the deck, forefront of the mind, overall headspace, 4 of Cups. So we've got a pretty strong sense here that you are in a pause at the moment. You not only is this at the forefront of your mind, there's also the first thing in your mind is about being hitting pause. So new energy, new day, new year. And likely if you're waking up on your own this morning, it's something that you're accepting as a new energy for you in general, to be focused on that union inside of self. So you are meditative, contemplative, you're trying to get grounded, maybe be in some kind of a natural setting today is on your mind, that you really want to get back to this nature, get back to this connection with the divine. Because if you focus on the physical attachment that you have had to the divine masculine, it could be, it could really shake your foundation. So you're trying to keep your foundation strong today by this real solid connection to the divine. Niggling thing in the back of your mind is work. 8 of Coins. You're like, all right, now I've got to work. It's a new year. It's a new day. It's a new dawn. I'm feeling good. I need to tap into my creativity. I need to really develop in my craft. I need to put my attention on, the beautiful things I want to create in this world, in this material world. And that's kind of underlying every decision you're making and thinking about. It's like, okay, how can I honor my passions and see this abundance come from them? How can I do the things that will guarantee that I will be staying in this space where I'm working? And also to be united here with that top of the deck energy of being in the 4 of Cups, it's also like this acknowledgement that you are working on the self. That as you are working on the self, identifying those passions, opening up those portals. Oh, wow. All my cards just fell down and the world just popped out upright. So end of a cycle. So you're wanting to work on yourself to be able to really get into that flow with your passions so that they can generate the abundance you need in the material world. And this is the forefront and the back of your mind on this first day of the new year. First thing on your mind, the Hanged Man. So you have surrendered completely to the divine, and I can see why. And you're actually comfortable in this position. Like, you've done this so that you can gain the perspective you need. You're like, all right, I need to be in this place where I can envision my future. And my future for so long was this one way, and I had this one idea of it. But I've truly come to this place where I am working in that Eight of Pentacles energy to get myself out of that attachment to that past energy and step into this new energy. And so you need perspective, you need guidance, and you're turning to the tools you have that help you to connect with the divine so that you can surrender decision making, any controlling energy. You're just like, no more control. I've got no more control. There's no more deadlines for me for like, oh, you divine masculine must do this by this time. It's like there's no deadlines. There's no physical thing for you right now. The next thing on your mind is this King of Swords. And this is so interesting there to see that full spectrum, the full spectrum of the rainbow in this card. And to have this sense that this King of Swords appears, when he's here, he appears with clarity, directness in his integrity. He represents the full spectrum of truth, of honesty, and he is icy and he's aloof, and that has been the issue. And this is what you are surrendering to. You are surrendering to that this idea that this King of Swords is going to remain in this place where he's icy and not approachable. And I think there's actually an acceptance there, a perspective that you've gained that this is actually for him in his integrity. Because if he approached you, he couldn't bring you where you are matched. So there's an awareness here that was like, you know what? This is actually my divine masculine being fully in his integrity by not approaching me, by not speaking to me. It's what I asked him actually to do. Is if you can't come to me and match me, then don't come to me at all. Like all or nothing, right? So he's actually in his integrity, in his silence and his aloofness. And that's the perspective that you've gained by surrendering. And you can let go of a divine masculine who's not able to come to you because he's not a match, especially when he's honoring you and respecting you in that silence. And then we have you in your Queen of Wands, and you are in the light of the Queen of Wands. And so the perspective that you're gaining is really helping you to be able to hold this new vision of yourself in your power, taking action, really being expressive, being tuned into the passions that you have, that you're wanting to work on in the back of your mind. You're really wanting to take this vision that she has, this, like, the only card where the divine feminine burns brighter than the Queen of Wands would be the Star card, right? So this is the minor suit version of that star energy, really shining and holding that vision and being an excellent communicator as well, being able to communicate your ideas. And you, in your accepting of this King of Swords in this energy, in your reframing, because this is a year about reframing and rethinking. One of my friends was saying she wanted to set that intention for this year. As you're reframing divine masculine's behavior and you're taking the shame and the blame from him in his not approaching and his remaining in silence, as you are realizing that that's actually him in his integrity, honoring that he's not in a healed space where he can come towards you, that allows you to become in your full power. It gives you the perspective that you really don't need him either way. You're going to be this star. You're going to shine in this Queen of Wands energy. I love that I'm wearing my queen shirt again today in that bright yellow, flaming energy, the Queen of Wands, that fire. And you're really excited about this. This is the Page of Wands. And so what perspective you're gaining is so beautiful, Divine Feminine, because it's an acceptance of Divine Masculine where he's at, and really not needing him because you're surrendering to the divine. You're holding that vision of yourself in that Queen of Wands energy, and that gives you this excitement. This new perspective is making you excited about what is to come, because you understand that Page of Wands energy, that spark, that excitement is about this, which is the Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles is where the seeds have been planted for the abundance to come, for the love to come, for the truth, for the clarity from this king to come. The seeds have been planted and they will bear fruit. And there's a patience there. There's a patience that's like, you know what? It's not now. It might not be this lifetime. It might not be ever, but I'm patient. I understand that my King of Swords is protecting me from himself. And I feel that that's coming from a place of integrity. And so I'm going to wait for these seeds to bear fruit and harvest my abundance from them when they do, whenever that is. And there's not an impatience there at all. And then wow, this is crazy. Okay. This Queen of Wands card is there's overthinking going on for Divine Feminine. Can I just say how beautiful are these cards though? I mean, they're so beautiful. Okay. There's this vision, right? This Queen of Wands is holding on to. And what is that vision but this Six of Coins? This reciprocity, okay? This is her giving and receiving equally. She's done the giving. She's fully done the giving. She's planted the seeds. She's created this. She's had this vision. She's put this excitement. She put this passion. She put this energy into it, and it will bear fruits. And those fruits will be balanced. They will be reciprocal, and it will be a generosity that she's bringing to her own energy, right? Because remember, this balance is about the energy we bring to ourselves. So with this reciprocity that she's gaining from going within in the Four of Cups energy and surrendering in the Hanged Man energy, she is able to give herself her reward. We have the Nine of Pentacles again, and this was a big player yesterday. But what do we have in this reading? We have the Six of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles. This is real world 3D material abundance. This is physical, like reach out and touch it abundance. And we are right at that moment where it's about to burst from that 9, 10 into the 10 energy, which is extraordinarily powerful. Okay. Let's go into the heart space. The heart space, top of the deck, overall heart space for Divine Feminine is the Strength card in reverse. So we have some doubt and some fear in her heart space where her head is holding down the fort. This is something we see for Divine Feminine a lot, that she needs to actually rely on what she knows, what she's learned, the lessons, these things she has to keep telling herself in her thoughts to counter a lot of the fears that she has. So we have her fearing the strength of the connection. I'm drawn to that lemniscate always in this card, the eternal connection, the strong eternal connection. So she's doubting a bit her beliefs about that strength. She's doubting her own strength right now. She's fearing a little bit like this is it. I made my promise to myself, like that it's about me now, and it's about focusing on me, and it's about me being my divine masculine energy and showing up for myself. And like, Do I have this? Can I do this? Is this a thing I can do? And the niggling feeling in her heart space is a mirror of the niggling thought in the back of her mind, this Eight of Pentacles energy. So she's worried about her ability to provide abundance through her passions. She's got fear about it in her heart space. She's not quite confident in her heart. Like her fear is, I don't know. So she's not tuned into that intuition. She's tuned into the fear. And her headspace is like, no, you will be able to see abundance. Didn't I just show you 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, honey? Like, calm down. Like, why you gotta be so emotionally reactive when we get shaken a little bit? Like, it's gonna be okay. Your money is okay. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be strong enough. Don't worry. Her head is really holding down the fort today, which means y'all have learned a lot of lessons, which is exciting. The first card up is the King of Cups. Oh, well, thank you for telling me it's time to take my medication that I already took, which is fish oil. So, all right. This King of Cups in reverse. So we know that the King of Cups upright is a beautiful type of a king. He's compassionate. He's just. He's kind. He's caring. He's thoughtful, sensitive, tuned in, intuitive, psychic. Like that's all the good stuff. But the shadow trait that he has is that he has a hard time expressing any of those things because he has to maintain that aloofness that he shares with the King of Swords in order to really give a sort of a presence that he has things under control, because he's a very emotional. And if he expressed those emotions easily, then everyone would know like how quote unquote weak he is, because we still oppress the divine feminine inside of ourselves and say that that's a weaker part of ourselves, even though it's actually our strength. I digress. Anyway, so this King of Cups does not express. And this divine masculine is inside of divine feminine. And to see this in the reverse is her feeling the shadow traits of this king, but also seeking with that surrendering to the divine energy, seeking to be able to see this divine masculine energy release these fears about communication and be able to express what is in that cup and enjoy all of the light traits of that king. Guess what? The Two of Swords is here, but it is finally in reverse because you are no longer resisting making a choice. When this was here before, it was about having two choices and things coming to a standstill because you're really not wanting to make the decision because you know that the decision that you have to make will cause pain. But this is no longer something that is floating there in the ethers. Your heart space has made the decision. There's no more standstill in regards to this King of Swords. You've accepted a new perspective on him, that he did what was best and protected you from himself and from any other outside external forces that would have caused you pain or suffering. And so you have chosen to release him, release this physical manifestation of this divine masculine energy and welcome in a new energy. Here's your Queen of Wands card in your headspace. And here's the clarifier, the Ace of Wands. So your Queen of Wands is perfectly capable of wielding this ace, of wielding this big communication, of taking this big action for herself. And the desire now is there's no more standstill in regards to this King of Swords because I choose myself. My deepest desire is to empower myself to communicate and express everything that is in my heart space, which will allow for healing of others. This Knight of Cups, nowhere to be found. He's not here with that cup, expressing what's in that cup. But the Knight of Cups is also, he's not as solid and reliable as like the King of Cups, he's a knight still. He's in his like teen energy, you know, like he's not fully grown up. So the thing that I'm seeing here is a couple different layers. I'm seeing, first of all, I'm seeing that the Page of Wands energy is an excitement to receive a new Knight of Cups, the old one having passed away because he can't bring you what it is that you need. I'm seeing an openness to wanting to experience a different Knight of Cups than the one that has been there before. But also an awareness that in order to see this Knight of Cups, you have to be in a place where you could receive it. If this card's in reversal, your heart is still feeling not quite able to receive this cup. And so it's learning how to receive a cup from someone else. Having your own cup filled and then receiving from the overflow of someone else's cup is still something that you're needing to learn. And this is also about releasing any sort of fantasy versions. Like this is immature energy, right? Page of Wands. So releasing the fantasy and like the dreaminess that was associated with this energy, like fully letting that go and just being like, not more realistic, because that's not what we're about in this collective at all. Like we are not about facing reality. We are about understanding that the fantasies that we held onto were someone else's truths from like either from what we grew up observing from the people in our real world or from the media that we were observing, and releasing the need for those like love stories, tales, or whatever to be true and to have them be sort of like, no, they're meant to inspire me to love, inspire me to be excited and be playful and childlike in my imaginings. But at the same time, there is a lot of poison in those fairy tales that needs to be released. Poison about helplessness and, you know, the disempowering aspects of them, and the reductionism that's in those kind of tales out of necessity because they're, you know, universal tales. So they're reduced to these elements that are very simplistic. So there's all of that going on with that release of that Knight of Cups energy in the heart space. This Seven of Coins in the head space is clarified by this Five of Pentacles in reverse in the heart space. So this is a Queen of Wands who does not feel in her lack energy. She is feeling that this thing is a thing of the past. This is 2020 card. This is, you know, for some, the year of lack. For others, it was not. Ask, you know, every single corporation in the world how they're doing right now. ... Regardless, for Divine Feminine, this lack energy is a thing that is passing away. Her new energy is this patience with the seeds she has planted and her dedication to working on her craft and understanding that releasing that lack mentality brings in the abundance that she is waiting for. And then finally, Knight of Wands, his ass is in reverse because she is not accepting this kind of energy at all. There is only one kind of energy that she is willing to accept in 2021, and that is reciprocity and her own rewarding of her own self. That Nine of Pentacles energy where she is her own reward. This is the only kind of business she's planning to accept this year. Okay, Queen. Let's take a look at Divine Masculine and see where he is. Okay. I don't even know what to think about this. Like, I just don't know, people. Okay. Top of the deck. Overall headspace for this Divine Masculine. It's the Seven of Swords in reverse. So the forefront of his mind is dropping this mask, dropping this energy of hiding, cleverness, strategizing, you know, spying, sneaking. Like, being at a point where he's no longer wanting to engage in this energy, where he's wanting to fully reveal himself. And he had this in his spread. I think it was in his heart space maybe the other day. I'm not sure, but I remember seeing it recently. And it's moved to the forefront of his mind. It's the most important thing right now, to reveal himself, to reveal what has been hidden. Because of the niggling thought in his mind, which is, I'm going to lose this 10 of Pentacles. I'm going to lose what it is that I truly want. I want to have this real world manifestation of this desire. And I'm trying to be in a place where I'm not attached to the material, physical manifestation. But that's so hard for me to understand because this is what I want. So he's kind of battling with that energy, fearing that he's losing this potential or the ability to have this 10 of Pentacles as the queen, as the queen of wands walks away from him. He's afraid of losing what it is that he's desired. And so the forefront of his mind is, I really need to drop this mask. I need to drop this strategy. I need to stop playing games. I need to stop, hiding things, because that is what is blocking me from my ability to have this. And also this awareness that he has had to remain hidden because he feels if he unveils himself, that it could jeopardize this manifestation, which is a self-fulfilling prophecy, which is literally what I'm looking right now on the screen, a self-fulfilling prophecy of endless possibility. First thing in his mind is the star in reverse. So this is a card of hope and healing. It's a card about the divine feminine using that, drawing from the unconscious and pouring that into the material world. It's about the divine feminine being a light in the darkness for this divine masculine energy. And it's in its reversal because he doesn't want to lose hope. He wants to really believe that this wish he has is coming down here to become it fulfilled upon the earth. And he's not wanting to lose hope in regards to this because he's really, really believing in the power of this victory. He wants to have this victory and achieve what it is that he's been fighting for, as he's been in the energy of the 5 of Wands yesterday. He is moving now into the 6 of Wands. Like, I'm fighting for this. I want to claim my victory, and my victory is over this 9 of Pentacles energy. Victory over self-indulgence. I'm getting that message too, that wanting to really rein in that self-indulgent behavior, but a victory that allows him to receive his reward, which is this manifestation of this divine feminine. He really is trying not to lose hope that he will be able to be victorious in this desire that he has. And here's this Ace of Swords. So it's really difficult for him to pick up this sword. He wants to do it, but it's very difficult because he has to bring this new idea, right? And he's focused on the old idea of I could lose divine feminine forever. I could lose my dreams of the family and the house and the dog and all of those things. Like, I don't want to lose that. That's this old idea that he has, and he really needs to shift out of this old idea. He also feels like he can't bring in this truth. He cannot. These are all cards of like, it's illumination, right? We have the 7 of Swords in reverse, so revealing the truth. We have the Star card, which is about illuminating what has been in the darkness, but it's in its reverse. So it's like an energy where he can't quite illuminate what's been in darkness yet. He can't bring the sword in, which is a sword that brings light and clarity so that what has been going on can be seen. And he's feeling like he is not able to do that. Which is blocking this 3 of Cups energy, this celebration, that he wants to be able to have with divine feminine. But the reversal on this is also to me about third-party energy that he is wanting to be victorious over. He is wanting to be victorious over third-party energy. Now, this could be his fear that divine feminine in her single and independent energy, not being in a place where she's willing to wait anymore for this divine masculine and just needs to go on with her life. He could be afraid that he's going to lose her to this third party energy, and he wants to be victorious to the potential that someone is going to step in. He wants to bring this truth in before that anything goes wrong, any third party energy enters the picture. It can also be about victory over the third party energy that's blocking this party in general, this union in general. We've got the Seven of Swords in reverse, which is that forefront of the mind, and the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, which is like a blocking of the happiness. So it's like he wants to reveal the truth, but the revelation of the truth could potentially block him. And there's just always in his mind this other energy. And this doesn't mean a karmic partner necessarily. Remember, this can be career. It can be limiting belief systems that you have. It can be like anything that would be considered a blockage. And he's wanting to have victory over this. And here's the Ace of Pentacles. But it's in its reverse because it's not here and it's not being presented to this divine feminine. And the overthinking that he's doing is that this is his wish. His wish is to be able to give this offer to divine feminine and have it be accepted by her and be able to have his reward, what he's been working for, because he's really been working to be able to present that offer to divine feminine. We keep getting the Nine of Cups for divine masculine, and that is a fulfillment of his wishes. So he needs to start trusting that he's going to get his wish and stop worrying so much in the headspace about how and when that's going to happen. That is keeping him stuck in this energy of not being able to see that fulfillment of that Ten of Pentacles. It's here in the spread. It is here. And that means we've got throughout the spread between the twins, we've got the Six of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, the Eight, the Nine, and the Ten of Pentacles all here. So the completion is within our reach. The top of the deck, overall heart space for divine masculine is this Ace of Cups in reverse. So he's feeling depleted. He's feeling like he needs to shift into an energy where he's receiving from the divine. But also, I think what we're seeing here too is the divine sending this energy to him, sending it to the earth, right? It's coming down, it's raining down on him, and he needs to shift into an energy where he's receiving it. The reason why I laughed, outside of the fact that we now have the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Wands in the spread, outside of that, I was also laughing because in this deck, which is the vice versa deck, and we can see these cards two different ways, I could see the card underneath. And the card underneath was the Ace of Pentacles upright. So there is a real world offer here, and his heart space feels perfectly capable of delivering it to the streets, right? Because this isn't the fantasy version. Fantasy version is here. The 3D version in the streets is here. This is the one that other people can see. I'll just leave that there for you. But if we go back to this card in its reversal, and we look at the back of this card, the back of this card has a Knight of Cups approaching the divine feminine, right? But we're not seeing that today. We're seeing that this is a card about himself, not about his divine feminine. It's about him feeling depleted and needing to fill up his own cup and not wanting to be taking from divine feminine's cup, but instead pouring into her cup from that love that he receives from the divine. And what is in the niggling feeling in his heart? Justice. Now, I said yesterday, and I meant it, I'm going to do a shuffle today, probably of my new fountain deck, to pull a new major arcana card that's going to be the focus for Tuned In Tarot for the next phase of the relationship between the twin flames. It has been this Justice card for the past month, 2 months. Normally, I run like a different playlist at least once a month or around about that time, depending on how the energy feels. But I did not feel like we were moving past this Justice card for those past 2 months. But this is a new year and a new day. And the niggling feeling in Divine Masculine's heart space is that this is justice that is overdue. These scales have not been balanced, and they must be balanced. He must come with this apology. He must pour out everything in his heart, not depleting the cup, because the cup is forever being filled up by this divine love. But he must express, he must pour out what's in this cup. Otherwise, this justice will not be done in regards to this divine feminine. The first thing in his heart space is the Magician in reverse. And the Magician in reverse is about feeling powerless. It's about not using the tools you actually have in front of you to help manifest. It's about feeling blocked in manifestation. So he is feeling very powerless right now. That's also clarifying the Star in reverse. So he's powerless to being able to control this divine feminine. She's going into a place where she's hiding from him and not showing him, not revealing him all of her true self. She might have blocked him at this point, but she is hiding from him. And he's feeling powerless to be able to have any sort of control over that. And he is. He has no right to control that. So he is powerless to that. And he's powerless to that star. He's powerless to be able to manifest, to bring that unconscious desire he has into reality. But his heart is urging him to go into this temperance energy and trust. Trust that the divine will help bring about this victory over his own actions, over his own machinations, over his addictions. He must trust in the power of the divine to balance the connection. When you come here to see these readings, you're looking at the balance. You're looking at where is it at? And then you're co-creating with spirit, right? Spirit is doing what you're asking. And then you're figuring out how to get into alignment with spirit. That's the co-creating. But spirit's already doing this for you. You're just figuring out how to feel that energy shift so that you can flow with it and be in balance. Not in extremes, but in balance. So divine masculine is trusting in that energy right now, trusting that that will help him to be victorious in regards to this union, and that he can get his, I kid you not, 9 of Cups. We have mirrored. And what is this reversal over but this 9 of Pentacles? So that's 999. I mean, yesterday's reading was 9992. We have the reversal on this 9 of Cups only because his heart space is wanting him to release this tendency he has to hoard his emotions, his wealth, his abundance, his feelings, to hoard them and not reveal them to this divine feminine. And his heart is urging him to reveal what his heart's wish is, to reveal to her that he wants to be with her and share with her and have her with him. And then we have another card of union. This is nuts. The Queen of Wands energy that divine feminine is in. Here it is. But it doesn't look quite the same, does it? Because this Queen of Wands is open. She's receiving. She's flowing with that energy. She's shining in that star-like quality that Queen of Wands has. And here we see this root system that is her throne. This ancient history these roots that have grown and blocked divine masculine from being able to approach divine feminine. He can't see her right now in his heart space because he has not revealed the truth. So until he reveals the truth to divine feminine, until he takes this sword and cuts through that root system and tears down that past energy between them by revealing the truth to her, she's going to remain blocked to him in this very organic way. This isn't something that's been constructed. This is something that has grown that he must cut away in order to approach her. And here's the Two of Cups. I just saw 4033. The Two of Cups is here, and it is clarifying the Three of Cups in reverse. So what comes after the Two of Cups, but the Three of Cups? Divine masculine wants to have divine feminine to himself. He does not want to share her. He wants to celebrate their union. He wants to do this privately. He wants it to be illuminated. This is his hope right here. This is what he's hoping for. But we could have seen the card this way too. We could have seen this union in the light, but we're still seeing for divine masculine this feeling that he must keep this hidden, secret, private, not reveal. But the star is here, and the star energy begins to reveal this union. So it's like he's starting to allow himself to see his heart's desire. But he wants her to himself. He wants to break bread with her. He wants to share with her. He wants to come forward. But here's who he's afraid of meeting. Not this warm and somewhat inviting. She can be pretty fiery and like temperamental, but she's warm, right? Instead, he's got an Ice Queen. And this is the clarifier for this. He wants to bring this offer, but he's afraid this offer will be rejected by this Ice Queen who must protect her kingdom. Her kingdom is herself, right? Her union. She must protect herself. And he's afraid that he won't receive this wish if he doesn't approach. And he's afraid that if he approaches, that she's going to cut this down. And she's not going to accept the kind of offer that he has, especially if the offer involves having to remain hidden in some way. Wow. All right. That was just nutty. Okay, let's start the oracles here. Divine Feminine. Y'all got a bunch of cards today, so tuck in. You are in the shadow attributes of the detective, which is voyeurism and falsifying information. So you have stepped into Divine Masculine's shoes, into this place where you are now just kind of watching him from the sidelines, even though you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to release him and stop paying attention to him, but I know it's hard. But when you are watching him, you're falsifying information. You're making assumptions. You're thinking about... Here's the problem. The problem is the communication has not been clear, right? That Ace of Swords is in reverse. The communication is not clear. We do not have clarity here. If you have no clarity, then you can do nothing but make up stories about what someone is thinking or doing or saying. And all of the stories you're making up are wrong because you are not that person and you don't know their motivations and you don't know what's going on in their life exactly. You are making assumptions. So come into the light, Divine Feminine. The light attributes are great powers of observation and intuition. Desire to seek out the truth. If you desire to seek the truth out and you trust your intuition, here's what your intuition is going to tell you. You're right today, you're going to be like, oh, I'm going to use my cards to find out what's going on with my Divine Masculine. And then you read for your Divine Masculine and you look at and you stare at the cards and try to make that message fit the story because you're still falsifying information, because it is very difficult for you to read for yourself and trust your intuition about something that you want so desperately, right? You really have to get your ego out of that reading. And it's difficult to get your ego out of a reading that is meant to satisfy your ego. So you must use your great powers of observation and then trust your intuition through meditation. Just surrender, go into that hanged man energy, surrender to the divine, and allow the divine to give you the true perspective. And the divine is going to tell you the following thing. Hey, don't worry about it. Focus on yourself. Because the only energy that you can be truly in tune with is your own. Okay. Heaven is watching over you, and this is emphasized. This is emphasized. So maybe you got this card and didn't quite believe it the last time you saw it. Believe it. Heaven is watching over you. You are safe. You are protected right now. What is happening is divine. And it's not only is heaven watching over you, but it is doing this with this really, really nurturing energy of a mother, which is the most protective. You've seen a mother bear in those videos. Like, you don't fuck with that energy. You're okay. Keep this in mind. My slightest improvement is of such great value. There is tremendous value when you are able to deliberately cause even the slightest improvement in the way you feel. For even in that small emotional improvement, you may have regained a measure of control. You no longer feel powerless. And so your trek back up the emotional scale is now not only possible, but it is relatively easy. So if you are having a hard time right now, today, because this is the day that you have decided that you are not going to be in that standstill with divine masculine any longer, and you've chosen to choose yourself and step away from him and release the need for the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands. And if you are feeling sad about that energy, here is the way out of the sadness. Even the slightest improvement in the way you feel today will start to turn it all around. It will mean that you have regained a measure of control. One of the things that the Whole 30 teaches, which is basically like a metabolic reset plan that you follow for 30 days. One of the main things about that is once you regain some control and realize that you have this control, that it's about this decision making, it builds your confidence so that you can continue to make these sorts of far-reaching choices and decisions for yourself and follow through with them, because you prove to yourself that you don't compromise, that you stick to what it is that you set your heart out to do, because it's only 30 days, etc. It's just, it's like a little magic switch that goes off when you do the Whole 30. And that slight improvement in your ability to make choices has these far-reaching effects. So trust that if you can reach for one better feeling thought today and you feel slightly better, you are improving immeasurably, because it's going to snowball for you through the power of the law of attraction and momentum. I'm just holding this card and I don't even want to believe in the impossible, divine feminine. This is the blue moon card, which for me is just like a real slap in the face from the universe today. Thank you. Good morning. I am almost awake. Yeah. Believe in the impossible, divine feminine. Hold your vision, right? If these two cards don't have that meaning, I don't know what does. The Queen of Wands and the Ace of Wands together, head and heart. Hold your vision. Hold the vision of the thing that it is that you want, which at this point, I hope if you've been on this journey with me for a minute, what you want is divine union inside of self. Hold your vision of that union and only that union. Embrace that right now, this is a time for healing, okay? It's a time for healing. Hold your vision as you go through that time. Take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. You've got overthinking going on in your headspace. You're kind of looping around the same kind of things. Take a break. Get off the treadmill of the same old thoughts, behaviors, checking social media, doing those things. Take a break from thinking about divine. Take a break from these readings. Don't listen to these readings if these readings make you think about a specific manifestation every time. If you can't, and I'm like, we're losing viewers here, but if you can't pay attention to these readings as yourself, as your own energy, and you still keep thinking about this other person, and it makes you just stop listening to readings for a minute. I do it all the time. I have to do it because I listen to other people's readings, and there's many times when I'm like, okay, I don't want to think about my divine masculine today in his physical manifestation, and this reading is making me doing that. So I'm going to stop doing that. So take a break from the things that are perpetuating these recurring thoughts in you. Your vibration is rising and you are the oracle. So there's a huge message here from multiple cards that's about trusting your own intuition and really believing that you are the oracle. I'm the messenger of the oracles, but you are an oracle. Like, you have that wisdom within yourself. And then the ever unfolding rose, remember, cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you, right? For you. This is all for you. And then we got bee spirit, but we got the oracle message today instead of the protection message because it is upright. Honeybee, that's me. Okay. The bee spirit's message is that sweet rewards are on their way, and we saw the Nine of Pentacles all over the place. So that is absolutely true. Sweet rewards are on their way if you are willing to get your ego out of the way and immerse yourself in the connected energy of all things. Bee spirit knows not to let a sense of being a separate self get in the way of a good thing. Spirit is always producing honey. Miracles and magic are everywhere. When you connect with the great hive, you are vibrating and buzzing in exquisite harmony with all. Bee spirit asks that your focus be on connectivity. Your body, heart, soul, and psyche experience total interconnectedness and a true integration when you self-forget, when you remember that you are a part of a greater unified consciousness. Moving from separation into connection, from self-centered limitation to spirit-centered infinite possibility and potential. You become busy as a bee, enjoying the gifts of bee spirit. Fully in alignment with your highest expression of yourself, your heart opens and creativity rushes through you seemingly without effort as you experience that nothing feels like work. Industriousness is driven by enthusiasm and inner motivation, and time seems to fly by quickly as the hive supports you in the making of honey. Do you feel the presence of your helpers in the hidden realms adding their energy to your creations? Magical results are taking form and will be sweeter than you expect. Bee Spirit wants you to remember that your part in the divine partnership with the conscious universe is being rewarded, even if you can't see that yet, and asks that you share your good fortune as there's plenty of honey for all. Be a part of the larger whole, the force that brings forth all that is sweet and delightful. Okay, Colette Baron Reed with your messages from Spirit. I hear this card, and I'm just still learning this deck and the beautiful messages from them. Every time I read them, I'm just like, so true and also so poignant in these readings. All right, Divine Masculine, equally needing assistance today. A little less, I think, but you are in the light attributes, Divine Masculine, of the Alchemist, which is transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. Alrighty. Golden wisdom. Divine Masculine, you're doing a good job. You're transforming what is your base motive being physical manifestations, right? Sexual energy, filling ego type base, ego needs, whatever. You've transformed that into really just having this be about a journey that's about golden wisdom for you, really learning these truths and learning to receive love. And it's interesting because I'm on this journey with y'all and I'm having to release my attachment to my divine masculine. You don't see him here in this. He's not here with me. So I'm like, okay, bye. But I'm really enjoying when I'm seeing that him in the light attribute of the Alchemist, because if that's what we did for each other, I feel like this really calm feeling of like, you know what? It's enough. Like I feel like I worked through my grief And I really did my best to release that energy with the full moon. And I feel like in a place where I'm processing that, I just feel happy for him that he's coming to these truths in his journey. And if that's what this was about, then that's what this was about. And that's like good enough for me, which is awesome. And I mean, ask me how I feel tomorrow, but that's how I feel today. Christ is with you, divine masculine, with a miracle. So don't lose that hope. Hold on to that hope that that star is coming down to the earth and touching down, and you will see this wish fulfillment that has been over and over and over again in your head and your heart for this last week or so. Christ is here to bring that miracle and to remind you of rebirth and that there is new life after death. Why does my saying no to it mean saying yes to it? Divine Masculine is asking. Here is the answer. When you give attention to something you desire and say yes to it, you're including it in your vibration. But when you look at something you do not want and say no to it, you are including it in your vibration. You cannot exclude anything that you are giving your attention to. The universe knows no exclusion. If you say, no, I don't want to be alone, the universe hears to be alone, right? You're now focusing on the feeling of what it's like to be alone. So the thoughts that you have are about the feeling of being alone. And then the universe is like, she just keeps thinking about being alone. I guess she just stays alone. I don't know. That's not what she wants, but she just keeps focusing on it. She didn't get it yet. Okay. We'll hold out. Like maybe she's going to get the next message from the next reading that whatever she's focused on, she's getting. So if divine masculine is focused on, I do not want to lose my 10 of Pentacles. The universe hears lose my 10 of Pentacles because it knows no exclusion. So you have to think thoughts that are about the attention you're giving to having this 10 of Pentacles. Thoughts like, I don't have my 10 of Pentacles yet. I know there must be some healing I have left to do. When I do this healing, I will start to see my 10 of Pentacles come to me. And I'm really excited about that because I know that I will feel really happy when I have somebody to share my life with, and we can do this and we can do that and we can do this. Oh, we can do that and we can do this and we can do that and we can do this and that. Okay, now you're feeding detail and your attention is on the 10 of Pentacles, not on the not 10 of Pentacles. The opposite version of that looks like, I'm going to lose 10 of Pentacles and then I'm going to be alone and I'm not going to have her and I won't be able to do this and we won't be able to do that. And this isn't even possible. And then I won't. And you're bringing your vibration down lower and lower and lower. And you're going further and further and further and further away from the place that's vibrating with all that excitement and energy and the potential for the manifestation to be physical and be in your reality. And instead you're getting what you're focused on, which is, I don't have my 10 of Pentacles. I don't have it. It's not, I don't see it. It's not happening. That's what it means when you say no to it, and why that means you're really saying yes to it. So say yes. Be bold and make the first move. And at this point, it's the only move. There's no move coming from the feminine side. The feminine has left the building. You are good enough, divine masculine. You know how tired I am of having to tell you this message? Not trusting me. You think I don't know you are good enough? I think I would know. I made you. Like that spirit. Like, bitch, I made you and you're going to criticize what I made? Excuse me? Rude? You are absolutely good enough. Stop questioning me. Surrender to the divine. Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Divine Masculine, you keep getting this card. You keep having to have this in your awareness that you are not bound. You still feel bound in some way, but you are unbound. You need to trust that the thing that you think is keeping you bound here, you are not. You're releasing those patterns. You're not bound to behaving the way you've behaved in the past. You're not bound to the energy of the past or the karma that has kept you in place. You're not bound to that energy at all. And then inner temple, devotion, tune in. Tune in with me, Pearl, Untuned in Tarot. Tune in to the portal of your heart. Oh, and you're getting this card again. I'm kind of learning this one, but this is Groundhog Spirit. Time to let go. Divine Masculine, you're still clinging. Divine Feminine, she let go, bro. She is gone. She is gone. Time to let go. Endings lead to beginnings, and death is a part of life. So Groundhog Spirit is here to let you know that it is time to accept the natural ending of something that is no longer serving you. We love to hold on to what is familiar, but the new needs space to arrive so growth can occur. When Groundhog Spirit appears, it is a sign that there is something in your present situation that you need to let go of so that something new can be born, something that will far better serve you now. When the groundhog sees his shadow, he retreats to his den. So too might you yearn for a little more time to say goodbye and transition into the new. However, change is coming and it is good. So let go of your resistance. Spring brings many blessings, and what must die will always be reborn in a new form that will be right for you. Life requires change and attachment. Say farewell to whatever once served you and get ready for something amazing to take its place. Spirit is already sending it your way. Okay, I really am drawn to that message of you might long for more time to say goodbye. The time, stop saying goodbye. Just let it go. You don't have any more time to waste, to spare. Just let this go. The goodbyes have been said. Go. Let something new happen. Let something new happen. It's not a big deal. We're all going to be okay. We really, really are. Okay, so Christ showed up for the Divine Masculine. Now this is the bottom of the deck for the couple. We have the needing to call in the lights of the Messiah. Okay, so there needs to be this acceptance, awareness, embracing of Messiah energy. Serving humanity with humility. The shadow attribute is the exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. So, divine couple, you felt for a while that your physical manifestation was dependent upon each one of you doing certain things. The truth is that manifestation is dependent only on divine timing. It's not, it's you affect divine timing, of course, but it's a manifestation that is meant to happen and will happen. And you don't have this power over it that you believe that you do, that you're the only one who can affect this change or whatever. You have to let that go. And you need to be in the light of the Messiah energy, which is just serving humanity with humility. Once you embrace this energy and allow that miracle to happen, allow that rebirth to happen, which you are not responsible for, you will fully have accepted that role. Serving humanity with humility draws abundance to you. It draws the manifestations to you. Saint Bernadette is here emphasizing speak your truth. Now, this could either be emphasis that is commanding speak your truth, or you can look at it as a message to not speak at the moment. But rarely do I ever accept a message of not speaking your truth. So I'm going to say the emphasis on this card for me is that you should speak your truth right now. And with confidence and with the protection and the assistance and the guidance of Saint Bernadette. I will love where I am right now. This was an emphasized card. There is nothing that you cannot be, do, or have, and we want to assist you in achieving that. But we love where you are right now, even if you do not, because we understand how joyful the journey to where you want to go will be. Do you see this bird in this cage? The cage could be lifted off. This is a very much like an Eight of Swords kind of an energy, where this is a false prison. This bird could just be free by flying out from under here. It doesn't look like there's an actual surface that this cage is on. She's just sort of floated up into this cage, and she's seeing herself in this space of self-protection. And it's interesting because we often chafe at that energy, but what the universe is saying is, we love where you are. We love that you're here, that you're learning that you can be free, because learning that you can be free is so joyful. It's such an experience to learn that there was nothing holding you back, and that all you had to do is just allow yourself to be free, allow that well-being. Love where you are right now. Just love where you are right now. That is the key that opens that cage. It's time to release the negativity. Release the negativity, release the doubts, release any kind of, anger or resentment, frustration. Just release anything that could potentially bring the vibration of this relationship down. Hey, no, wait, postpone, pause, say no. No, not right now. Love where you are right now and allow this pause. Just wait for inspiration from the divine. And then we have a new card for me. Hummingbird spirit, be here now. This is a very similar message to I love where I am right now. Be here now. The hummingbird's wings beat so swiftly it can hover in seeming stillness as it drinks deeply from a flower. Hummingbird spirit comes to remind you that the beauty and sweetness of life is in the eternal now, the timeless present. Here and now, you are becoming the person you wish to be, to have the experiences you wish to have. Focus your energy on the flower before you, for what you desire is being provided. Yes, there are blossoms everywhere. The choices can be dazzling. Hummingbird Spirit's message is that you have no need to go about in search of something better, for all that you require and desire is before you. You will know this as you become still, feeling your connection to Spirit, who loves you unconditionally and will always provide for you. So be in that Four of Cups energy. Be here right now. Go into that meditation. Go into that place where you are very present inside of self. And then I will close this reading with this very interesting goddess today, Sedna. Sedna, whose name means the one down there, was once a beautiful Eskimo woman who lived with her father. None of the local suitors appealed to her, and she refused to marry until a fulmar, which is a bird, from across the sea, promised to take her to his home of luxury. When she found she had been deceived and was ill-treated, she begged her father to take her home. As the two were crossing the water, a flock of fulmars caused a huge storm to arise. To save his own life, Sedna's father threw her into the ocean. As she clung to the boat, he chopped off her fingers, which turned into whales, seals, and all the mammals of the sea. Sedna descended to Adlivium, the Eskimo underworld, where she now rules the dead. To ensure that she will continue to send food to hunters, shamans descend to visit her, comb her hair, and massage her mutilated hands. Sedna is a reminder of the nourishing gifts that are to be found deep in the dark, cold places that we most fear. Wow, that is a very interesting energy. So, an immense sacrifice which resulted in a great gift to humanity. And the idea that to be wounded and to be broken, you can still be a goddess. You can still be in this life-giving space. Going and being in that deep, dark, cold place that we fear, and finding the parts of ourselves that we have sacrificed to others and reclaiming them for ourselves, bringing that back and bringing that into our our healing process. Definitely, I see that energy of her helping in that healing. We've just severed a part of ourselves. We've just detached from a physical manifestation. It does feel like this loss, but that loss is like a gift to ourselves. It's allowing the rebirth to happen so that we can be in a place where we don't have to accept anything that's less than where our true worthiness is. Okay, that's today's reading, which really drained me here towards the end. It's a lot of energy. I feel, we're in a really interesting space. We're in a place where we can make a lot of changes and shift the energy and see something really new and interesting start to happen, and see maybe less of the same old business that was going on with us for so long. So thank you for joining me today. I do hope you have a wonderful day today. If you do need a personal reading, please email me tunedintarot@gmail.com, and we'll discuss different options that will work for you. I also am about to start a couple of workshops, one for music production for women. At the end of a 4-week workshop, you will have one track produced. That's my goal for you. And then I'm also going to do a workshop on using tarot for growth and expansion and spiritual renewal. And it will blend a lot of things. It'll blend like self-care and nutrition and using all kinds of things. It's going to be really fun. So keep your eyes open for Instagram posts about those workshops. And also I'm going to shuffle. After I shuffle everything back into the decks, I'm going to do a shuffle today and choose the card for the next Major Arcana playlist. Please submit songs you think embody that new card, and I will shuffle that playlist when I do my readings. A 11133 I just saw, and whoever songs comes up, you will have chances to win a free hour-long reading from me. Lucky you. 11144. All right, I'm going to end the stream. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow on Tuned in Tarot.